Welcome back to the Japan League here for the Blast R6 program. We're getting into map number 2 of SCARZ versus FAV Gaming here in the playoffs. The winner of this match will go forth into a semi-final that qualifies a team for the major. They will play North Eption. Of course, SCARZ has already one map up in the series after taking border 8-6. That was indeed their own map pick. FAV put up quite a fight on map 1. Now they move on to their map pick, perhaps with some renewed confidence, Mandy, that they can hang with a team at the caliber of SCARZ.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm FAV right now, I'm like, yes, we did it. Well, we almost did it, right? But like, we really pushed hard. This is the time that we're going to be able to close one out, right? Surely, if you're FAV, I feel like that last match, or last map, is a big spell of confidence for these guys. So I'm really excited to see what they can do. That's a lot of repicks going out for FAV.
We've seen SCARZ unafraid of repick into a rush strat. Now this looks like it's a repick into a vert strat. Most teams will pick the top floor first here, and so I think that perhaps the reason why there's a lot of repicks is because they're expecting to be top, and now they're like, well, maybe we want the Jackal for some roam clear, maybe we want the Buck and Sledge for some vert.
Sorry, I think you've got that one exactly right there for FAV. They decided to bring along these roam clearing aid operators instead in both the Dokkaebi and the Jackal as well. So it does look like they are going to go for that top floor, top down sweep of the entire map, like you're pointing out. It's going to be Afro here as the first point of contest. Washoe inside of Cocktail has made his position known now as he looks for that swing onto Cigar.
Quite an extensive roam here for SCARZ, but a loose one at that. Love the Vigil, the Echo, the Solus, even the Mute. All of these are about information gathering and information denial to enable this aggression.
Ooh, they've seen him. They've seen Washoe here, even though he goes into the Vigil mode. His position is made known to these attackers, but he is absolutely relentless in his position inside of Cigar, and he's able to take him down. That's the first pick going in the way of SCARZ. Oh, the second.
Oh, second. Washoe, you are a dangerous man. He's found a massive opening here for SCARZ, but Candy is able to trade one back. Good position for him to cut off the retreat down the mining hallway.
Here we go though for FAV. They now have control of this top floor and can start to make use of the verticals cleared down below. I don't know if they know, but Rek has actually fallen all the way back. He's no longer in that second floor, and so FAV are playing this game really cautiously now, making sure that he is in fact gone. Does seem like they know now though, as they start to make their way in. And Afro can make use of this vertical.
Still, there's a lot of options here for SCARZ to retreat away from places exposed to these vertical lines of sight. In fact, it looks like Washoe is just gonna peek it. He's so committed to taking fights on this vertical game. But there is enough time here for the FAV to really work this vert properly and find a numbers advantage.
Yeah, and here we go. The rest of SCARZ are actually going to fall off to the rooms adjacent to the bomb site instead, just like you called that would happen. As FAV, with only 35 seconds left and the man disadvantage, have to plan out what execute they want to go for. Now it is light, he has the diffuser, and it's just above the freezer hatch, so I can imagine that they're going to go for a drop here.
Time's not going to be on their side, and the Yokai is going to deal a bunch of damage here to Candy, cussing him for a brief moment, but he does shoot out that Yokai at the end of it. Pion has a perfect position, but he is revealed, and Washoe is going to go for the aggressive play. Now Light forcing down the fuser is the only player left, and Pion steps up massively with 2 kills on the SMG-11, and SCARZ a very confident way to start their opponent's map pick.
Yep, that was a super round for Washoe. Not only did he find massive value there on the roam by getting 2 kills, but then also gets one on the retake as the plant is going down as well. So 3 on the round for him, and Pion, of course, the other player with 2 kills to hold on to the bomb site, was a perfect round there for SCARZ. Even though FAV had the tools that they needed to go for that roam clear, Washoe was just so relentless over there in that cocktail position. Did so well, so much work, that FAV couldn't claw it back.
Yeah, credit to him. I feel like we didn't really highlight Washoe a lot on map 1.
No.
Wasn't really the name on the tip of our tongue. Tayo had a big round. Rek had quite a few, maybe not as many as we would typically expect from Rek. But Fishlike was the pivotal player because he was always in that CCTV power position. It's nice to see that Washoe is now given a chance to shine.
Yeah, I think it's like different maps, you got different roles, right? Like it happens to every team on every map. It's just like whoever has the point of like the most resistance, we're going to be watching, we're going to be talking about the most, right? I think here, on border, it was quite like cut and dry because of the way that FAV were attacking it. But I can only imagine now, here on Cafe, we're going to see something very different.
Speaking of the differences between Cafe and Border, right, this is a much more defender-favored map, right? We would expect these teams to be a lot more comfortable on that defensive side, which is, of course, why SCARZ picked it. That said, FAV are actually a very good attacking team on this map. They win 67% of their attacks on Cafe. So I would expect and hope for their sake that they're gunning for more than a 4-2, or rather a 2-4 half on their attack. I think they should be expecting the 3-3 or maybe even a 4-2.
Still then, attacking is rather challenging at the moment, especially with the lineup that is available to SCARZ. Like, yes, these armies banned out, so you're not going to see those like crazy, massive piano holds. Yes, Valkyrie's banned out, so it's not going to force FAV to be real careful about Valkyrie cameras. But there's Fenrir, there's Solus, there's Mirror. Like, there's so much going on. The Mirror is a big one, right? Because there's no Hibana. Hibana's banned out too, so anywhere that there's a Mirror is going to be quite difficult to clear out.
Speaking of, our observer just highlighted that in mining there is in fact a mirror, or facing into mining rather, from Train. Of course, mining is the bomb site this round as well. It'll be very powerful in the late round. Here comes Wreck though. An enemy on top of red stairs caught, unfortunately, in a difficult position. Concussed by the Fenrir gadget, but Acerola is able to get the trade necessary to equalize the numbers here for FAV.
That's not too bad, I think, for FAV, right? Like, yes, you lose out on your pick, but it's like not mission critical to the push that they're trying to go for here. Remember, the bomb site is mining. It is not a reading room. That's where Pion is at the moment. So Shoy is still able to hold on to some of that top floor presence, so is able to claim one back onto Afro. Meanwhile, though, the trades go back and forth as Light is then able to get that same trade onto Washoy. So top floor control has been given to the attackers.
It really is trade central here. One thing I do wonder is how will these C4s be able to deal damage on the vertical game? The next step for FAV should surely be opening up the floor in Piano, which looks down into Train, taking down that mirror and any players that are looking to defend the bomb site. But in fact, it's actually Candy getting quite aggressive in reading. I believe he's aware of Pion's position. Dangerous to go for an aggressive peek early though.
Interesting. They're kind of running out of time here, right? Because even if they try and go for that execute, the thing they have to worry about is that Fishlike is all the way down below, in the floor below, and has 2 impacts in his hand, right?
Yes.
even if these 2 anchors are cleared out, they're still in danger of the plan.
Seconds remaining.
Smart move from Fishlike. He has so many options available. Here he goes. There's already a player fed to him. A second kill as well.
5 seconds remaining.
That's devastating for FAV, and Fishlike's going to clean up all 3 kills. Dominant round at the end of it, as Fishlike was left unattended to, and he dominated when it came to that final execute. Not even needing to use his gadget, it was merely the position that enabled that 3K.
Really good work there once again from SCARZ, just holding on to their grounds. Like, yes, you lose out the top floor, but that doesn't mean the round is over. They had many layers to that defense that they ultimately relied upon as the time ticked away. For FAV, I think quite lacking in the decision making. I think I liked they were trying to put the vertical pressure onto that mirror. I think that was Wreck there, or Tayo, I can't remember, who was playing inside of Train. I really feel like it was quite important for them to clear out that position so that they could actually get an in onto the bomb site. But not being able to make work of that vertical just meant that they really didn't have a very clear way to then translate their push into the bomb site. Fishlike was in a great spot for it, and he closes out the round.
Yeah, well, credit to FAV though. That was a better round than the first one, right? They didn't lose 2 players on the roam, right? Struggled to convert. They at least traded out pick on the roam. Managed to get it to a 3v3 with almost enough time, you could say, to convert to pressuring the site.
It was close. It was a good try, you know. Like, I think I would leave it at that for those guys. Like, yes, they got the pressure that they needed, but it's just about like making that connection between the mid to end round, which they seem to struggle with quite often.
Now finally, you see the reading bomb site bar. It's commonly the most popular site for many teams, and especially if you play a lot of ranked, you'll see that bar bomb site the most. Yet to be taken by SCARZ. Instead, they're going to reading. And once again, a lot of C4s on the board. 2, which will be enabled by information gleaned from Tayo's pulse cardiac sensor down below in mining. Now, this is a fairly common strategy, so FAV would be remiss not to prepare for it and look to hunt down Tayo below.
Yeah, so once again though, the problem with this mirror setup with the C4s that are going on is that there isn't really range hard breach to deal with this. Like, even if you did have the Hibana, getting in the pellets through this like teeny little hole in the wall is quite challenging. So here goes Yura. He's going to make his way in through shop, but like you said, Teo down below knows exactly what's going on.
I think Afro just managed to pop one of those mirrors from below as well. I'm not sure exactly how that mirror was popped, but it was a nice one. Perhaps it was from the repel. Candy may have been able to get an angle onto one of the mirrors. No, it wasn't even that one. Here we go. Speaking of Tayo, he spotted the lion. Oh, Yura jumped into an unfortunate frost mat. That is devastating for FAV. They are slowed down here. Slight looks to try and clear the pixel shield, but it is protected by both ADSs and Wamai magnets. 3 ADSs, in fact. That shield will likely stay intact for the remainder of the round. SCARZ maintaining control of this round.
And that's quite the reservoir of utility, just like you said. And really, there's no way this nade is going to sink, just like you said. It's going to be caught instantly. Oh, never mind. Somehow, all of those ADSs are gone. Meanwhile, the trades are really starting to come out, though, Dev. The scoreboard is seriously lighting up.
Have one player down. As I say that, it slips to 2. Rek holding this strong position. Cocktail. Ace Roller sees that mirror and says, I am not going to be able to get in through here. Andy, though, there's a player just around the corner from him, but he lands the fight. Regardless, Ace Roller goes down. Up to Candy now. Unlikely to be in a position to pick up his former teammate, and there you go. Downstairs, funnily enough, the kill cam showed the wrong player there, but regardless, SCARZ have made decent run of 3 defenses in a row.
Yeah, that's a curious one for me for FAV. Even though that they saw the top floor setup that went down, they actually played into it in their push. I think you identified a great point of weakness, and that was like perhaps they should try and approach the building from below or approach the building from the cocktail side instead, because that's the way the mirrors are facing. But I think ultimately they really just did play into the defense that SCARZ has set up for them. There's no way that they could make that entry in through shop because of all the angles that were being held there, the cocktail control that was being held by the defenders. Not just that, they couldn't make their way into Pixel either, and ultimately what they decided to go for on that top floor just couldn't quite come into fruition.
Well, we expected the attack to be quite hard on Cafe, especially in this current meta, as you've said. It's 3 rounds in a row that FAV have struggled. That's not a good start to their own map pick, what's more. So the tactical timeout is called. Have a moment to discuss. Of course, SCARZ have the choice now. They could go to the bar bomb site, which hasn't been taken yet. Doesn't seem to be a favorite of SCARZ. Or they could go all the way back down to their primary, which was kitchen cooking. That really just kicked off on the back of a great roam from SCARZ, right? We saw the 3K from Washoy, 2 on the roam and 1 near the end of the round. Expect to see that again here, and indeed that is the case. You see kitchen and cooking taken by SCARZ, not dueling with the notion of going to bar as of yet. My question is, do FAV ignore or deal with this roam game?
Bomb located by attack.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. For FAV, I think at the moment it is about identifying the point of least resistance and actually coming up with a plan for it, right? Because the 3 defense rounds that SCARZ have got on the board have all been because FAV have essentially like played into their hand, correct? Right? The first time they played this basement bomb site, or the ground floor one, in fact, they played into the roam game that the Vigil set up. That was, I think that was Washoy on the top floor, right? The next time that they tried to go for an attack, they then played into the exact same thing, right? The setup that was in the top floor, and they funneled straight into it. It was very linear. So I think for FAV, it's about trying to create something a bit more multifaceted here and to keep SCARZ guessing.
SCARZ is trying to keep FAV guessing with some spawn peaks. Vicious from Rek. Taking down the Buck as well. That is the primary vertical player for FAV. And one of the hard breach gadgets as well gone. I believe Buck was running hard breaches there. Actually, no. Having a look at the bar on the top right, see he was running flashes, which are now eliminated from the round. So FAV still have some hard breach available in the form of that ace, and it looks like, surprisingly, they're still also looking to go for a bit of a roam clear here, despite losing that Buck early.
It is curious, I think, here for FAV. Like you're saying, they have lost out on their like mid-round condition that they're trying to play for here. So it makes me wonder why they're trying to still clear onto this. This is not a bad position here from Candy, anticipating that the fall-off will come through on the ground floor, and it's going to play the cutoff here on red stairs.
Ooh, God knows, he heard. And the Yokai is there to support. I believe that Yokai may have been taken down, and well, unfortunately, Rek has found the second kill of the round. Yura's gone down, and this push has well and truly fallen flat on its face for FAV.
This is a tough one now. SCARZ have got so many options here. They're just going to hold on to this top floor for as long as they can, knowing that FAV got to spread their utility and their resources thin to try and clear it out. That's the final logic bomb to be detonated there for Candy as well. It won't reveal much, as ASRL is going to try and put that pressure on the bomb site.
Drop the diffuser.
Okay, SCARZ, that's one way to accelerate this round. Acerola, the last one left, and he will have to Acerola up. 5 kills will be required in the round for him to clutch this one, and I just don't see that possible. Rek has been on a tear this round, and this game as a whole. 1 death to 5 kills, and that diffuser, have a look at that.
No.
Down underneath the red stairs. I mean, what do you do here for FAV? Do you just sit and lie and wait? Perhaps take a impromptu tactical timeout?
Yeah, I think you just hang out here, to be honest. Like, the thing that FAV are doing at the moment is that what they're doing is so linear, don't you think so? Like, I'm not sure how much you agree with this, but I just think that it's so telegraphed what they're doing into SCARZ, that SCARZ are like, we've seen this 100 times. I'm just gonna hang out and like play it right, you know, on the roam, especially with all the tools that they've got, especially with the Solace in hands of Washoe. Just everything that FAV are trying to do has been so well read by SCARZ. They know what to do, they know what's going on, and they're just hanging out. It doesn't look like they're breaking a sweat here.
No, not really. And in fact, Rek will look to try and feed for the final kill. Of course, SCARZ know that they're not losing this round. Not the advantage that they have, the diffuser in their clutches. Rek may as well just go for a bit of a fun extra peek. Like you said, though, they have well and truly dominated this round. They have full information. They have the read on what FAV are doing. Bit of frustration from SCARZ as the last player is not going to feed them another kill. But of course, it is SCARZ themselves that get the last laugh there with the round win. And 4 in a row on their defense, Manny. This is where we enter danger territory for FAV. The win condition now on this half is 2 back-to-back attacks for FAV. Anything less, and this is surely going to be a 2-0 for SCARZ.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. I think FAV definitely needs to try something different here, especially against SCARZ, right, where they're so proficient at the moment on this defense. I'm not really sure, to be honest, right? Like, we keep saying that these halves need to go a particular scoreline or a particular way or whatever, but I can't help but feel like it's so situational with the way that the like attacker-defender sides play out. You never know. Maybe FAV are going to go onto their defending half and they're going to do like absolutely amazing, like with the tools that they've got, right? So I am cautious, I think, on your 4-2 comment that you've made, Dev. I'm very cautious because you don't really know. You never know.
It's true. I mean, we could end up having a ridiculously defender-sided game where SCARZ go 5-1 and then FAV goes 6 in a row, you know? It's happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, it literally happened tonight, no? Like against Crest.
Yeah, it was the 4-2 and then the 5-1.
Yeah, it happens. That is all. It happens. I'm going to leave my comment there for now.
You, regardless, feel that FAV are the ones with the pressure on. 1 map down and 4 rounds down here on Cafe. It's of course not impossible. We expect SCARZ to be more comfortable on their defense, but they really found their groove. It took them a while to do so on map 1. Even the opening engagements going SCARZ's way does not bode well for FAV, as it was quite the opposite on the first map.
I don't mind the Fenrir setup that Rek is doing. He's playing inside of that, what we like to call Shaiko position, with some of those gadgets that are online for him to be able to hold on to this position. He's actually deactivated the one going into shop just in time for that Gemini to come through from Euro, so there's no way that he's going to be able to clear it by shooting it out as it stands. It's actually really nice. I really like the way that Rek, we've seen time and time again, has been like microing these what are they called, dread mines here for the top floor and making it really challenging for FAV to clear them.
It's not easy to do, by the way. That is quite,
it's not easy.
Quite frustrating to quickly look around, and if a dread mine is activated and it gets shot, then you actually lose the active charge as well. You can't go and replace that with another one, so it's quite a high skill ceiling to playing Fenrir optimally.
It is a lot of finesse, and I've really been enjoying watching it so far in this game. But here we go. They have actually got control inside of shop so far. So a little bit of control going in the way of FAV, but now once again, they're faced with this really long line of sight and a mirror on the other side. I wonder how they're going to clear it.
At the moment, it looks like Yura is just getting aggressive on Pixel. There has been a trade of kills elsewhere. Show going down. It's a huge boon to FAV, but have a look at this. There's a player deep in sight. It's Afro. He's snuck his way. Sorry, it's not sight. I'm a bit silly, but it is deep in bar, which is a powerful position nonetheless. And thought that was a player for a second, but Gemini alone is taken down, and the reposition from SCARZ. They're worried about this vertical play coming through. This is a bit dicey, but another kill for SCARZ. Once again, turns the tide of the round. FAV have a decent amount of time to work with, but they have to start making good on the promises made by this vertical game.
Yeah, and great positioning there from Tayo. He gets out as soon as he gets the pick onto the vertical and decides to go somewhere where he cannot be pressured out, and is instead going to wait for FAV to make their next move. They can't make use of this vertical once again, and now they have to translate it down onto the second floor.
This is good though. FAV, low time, but they have good positions. They have regrouped, and they have got another pick back. Tayo's in an off angle. And keep in mind, Fishlight still remains downstairs. There are very few places on site where you will be safe from the Solus, but you're not safe from Pion, that's for damn sure. A 2K to force it all up to Acerola. A 1v2, but he's not even going to find the first. Tayo swoops in for the final kill and locks in a 5th round in a row on Cafe for SCARZ.
Yeah, once again from FAV doing something pretty linear through the top floor. I don't really think that they've ever changed, once again, their approach going into this map, just like we saw on Border as well. So I think FAV, once again, like just sort of falling to their own decision making against SCARZ here. The setup seems to work really well for them. I think once again we're pointing out the micro that's coming out from Rec is seriously delaying that entry point coming out through the top floor, and it doesn't seem like FAV have got a great solution for it just yet. Okay, here's one solution though. This is Candy going on the Brava. I don't mind this, right? Because by being on the Brava, assuming that they do the exact same entry point again, they can actually play the micro, like the mini game versus Rec on the other side. It's actually Pion this time on the other side to try and disable that Dread Mine and then make the entry work at the same time.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with you with that. I think there are a couple of counters here that haven't quite been effectively utilized by FAV. Of course, we've been talking about there's so much, like there's just so many good defenders. Not all of them have counters, and the one that really springs to mind for me is Solus. And even though we haven't seen the Solus need to be called upon in a lot of these rounds, it's no doubt assisting in a lot of the playmaking from SCARZ. And it's always the ace in the back pocket when these rounds get tight and there's still a Solus below or above, for that matter. The plant is never a guaranteed. And it does make me wonder, maybe FAV should have left the Azami in. You know, maybe they should have gotten rid of the Solus or the Fenrir. But there's just so many operators that are too good, right? Like you can't.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You can't ban out more than one. Fortunately, FAV have proved to really struggle against the Fenrir and Solus here, though.
It is tough if you are FAV at the moment, but I think in their position, it's just like solve one problem at a time, right? The first problem, get inside building. Maybe even get inside long bar might be the next one, right? And that's exactly what they're doing now. We can't talk to our observer, but of course we can see Candy get active there on one of those clutch drones to try and take down the FNATs inside of Cigar. But the thing they have to worry about now is Washoy, who I believe is sitting inside of the corner of stage. I don't know if they know he's there.
There's one FNAT taken down, and because that was actually shot while active, that will remove the charge completely, which is good. Like you said, there are quite a few roamers here on the top floor, so still in bar stage, and in fact potentially hidden. Here's Washoy, and he jumps up and finds the first pick. That is devastating for FAV Gaming. They managed to get a breach on the top red wall, but they were not aware of the Legion's position. Now Candy's gone down as well. This is surely a done deal. SCARZ have been rejuvenated on this second map. Washoy went for a run out. He's jumped back inside. He's safe. And amidst the chaos, it's all up to just Afro. As I say that, I was going to say Afro and Acerola, but just Afro now to save the half on the Flores. No diffuser in sight. Not even on the right floor to make this work.
Not good. Very bad here for FAV. I think you called it 6-0 defense on SCARZ. That's looking pretty good as it stands, right? They've done all the right things against FAV here on the defense. They've played all the right operators. And that's about it, to be honest. Like, I don't really want to dissect that any further. Okay, here goes Afro in his attempt at the 1 versus 4. Look, he's got 50 seconds. It's in the realm of possibility.
Look, this is a round that you can't afford to sit there and take your impromptu tactical timeout like we've seen from FAV 2 or 3 times in this series. This is a round that Afro, no matter how the odds stack up against him, has to try to win. Because a 6-0 is almost GG. That's basically it. So he has to take these ones. Unfortunately, he's not looking out for Washoy, who will claim the MVP of that round after the dangers he inflicted upon FAV upstairs in Piano. And then the closing kill, of course, as well. SCARZ, a 6-0 half on FAV Gaming's map pick. And with that, not only the map point, but series point, elimination point for FAV Gaming, and SCARZ on the verge of dominating on map 2 the way we expected them to do so on map 1.
I really don't want to be like too mean here, you know, but there's not a lot to dissect, I think, when it comes to that defense. It's just SCARZ play the meta, you do the right things against a team, against an attacking team that refuses to solve their problems and refuses to actually change what they're doing, right? Like, I think all 6 times that FAV tried to attack this map, no matter what the bomb site was, they did it in exactly the same way. And every single time, the round played out in the exact same way, where they had a horrible tussle going inside of Cigar Shop, losing a bunch of players, losing a bunch of bodies, and then from there not being able to convert, right? So I think, yeah, SCARZ just do the right things, and going into this attacking half, they really only need 1, and that's it. They can close it out.
I mean, you have the, I don't know what to say, the convenience, but you have the leeway here for SCARZ to just try some crazy stuff, and that's kind of what we're seeing, like, yeah, as I say that, the Glaz is... Oh, no, repicks last second, there was a bit of doubt. But Fishlike has stuck the Glaz. So we've got Glaz, Monty, Dokkaebi, Grim, all of these, and Lion, I guess. All of these are very much execute-heavy rush ops. And SCARZ may look to finish this game in style.
It certainly seems like it. A very centric attack here is what they seem to be looking for. Aided by the Grim, of course, to play that zoning game as they want to go for their execute like you're calling out. I wonder where they're going to send in Pion on the Monty. So unlike SCARZ, FAV are not bringing along Fenrir. So it's not like the control inside of shop is going to be very well contested here for that Monty push. Meanwhile, Acerola down below is going to be met by Rek on the other side. Seems to know there's a guy down here.
Oh, and Rek is going to win that fight as well. Not even going to go for the phone, looking to get aggressive. There is actually attempted retake from Afro, who's now looking to re-aggress that position. He doesn't realize the player's already gone up the red stairs. And it looks like the Monty is in and looking to threaten this position. And Piano, there's a slew of utility facing against him, but he does not care.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Monty, you can just stand in the line of sight. Who would have thunk it? And with no FNATs, with no nothing really, no Legion, no C4s left to deal with this position, Pion's just going to walk forward and call to his teammates exactly what needs to be done next.
Afro is so scared. Just look at the way he's flicking around. Doesn't know which hole. There's so many places they could come from. And Rek has once again eluded him. Aggressive now to the bottom of white stairs. Afro must get the frag. And he finally trades back the kills. But Rek has done so much damage already.
Interesting. I wonder what SCARZ are going to go for here, right? Like, they could potentially try and go for the execute with the control that they've got facing this breach, but Pion's go on with the diffuser in hand, and that scares me a little bit as he walks up to this pixel position.
It's getting aggressive for a man with diffuser, but SCARZ are still able to continue clearing this position. Tayo tempted now with the Grim. The bees go out. A smoke tempted to go out as well. Bit of damage dealt somewhere, and amidst the chaos, where will this plant go down? And off position. And perhaps the C4 will miss because of that. Indeed it does. Fishlike to cover with the smoke. Afro and Yura now in a position to clutch in the 2 versus 4 to save their dream of the major. Else they will go down to the lower portion of the bracket. But Pion here on the Monty is taking a bit of damage, but he will persist and watch over this diffuser like a loving and careful man, watching for the last player of FAV Gaming as Yura is forced in a position to clutch. But SCARZ, well, the unbroken Northeption will lie in wait for them as they begin their bracket run to claim their place in Atlanta. GG for SCARZ, a 7-0 and a date with Northampton tomorrow.
Yeah, just a completely dominant game there for SCARZ. Absolutely no contest on the